This is the story of the most shameful match in World Cup history. A game where two teams walked onto the pitch and, in front of the whole world, simply agreed to stop playing football. For 80 minutes. On purpose. And it was so disgraceful that it forced the sport to change its rules forever. The year was 1982. The World Cup in Spain. And to understand the scandal, you have to meet the team that nobody respected. Algeria. Algeria were the underdogs, a North African side that almost no one gave a chance. In their very first game, they were drawn against the mighty West Germany, one of the best teams on the planet and a tournament favorite. And then Algeria did the unthinkable. They beat West Germany 2-1. It was one of the biggest shocks the World Cup had ever seen. The Germans were humiliated. The Algerians were heroes. Now, here is where it gets complicated, so stay with me. Back then, the final two games of the group were not played at the same time. They were played on different days. And that detail is what created the disgrace. By the time West Germany played their last group game against their neighbor, Austria, both teams already knew one crucial thing. They knew the exact result that would send both of them through to the next round and knock Algeria out. The magic number was simple. If West Germany won by 1 or 2 goals, both Germany and Austria would qualify, and Algeria, who had already finished their games, would go home. The match kicked off, and after just 10 minutes, West Germany scored. 1-0. The perfect score. The exact result that suited both teams. And then it happened. Or rather, nothing happened. For the next 80 minutes, the two teams simply stopped competing. They passed the ball sideways. They passed it backwards. Defenders knocked it to each other while the forwards stood still. Neither team made any real attempt to score or to win the ball back. They had silently agreed. 1-0 was perfect for everybody. Everybody except Algeria. The crowd understood immediately what they were watching, and they were disgusted. Fans began whistling and jeering. They waved white handkerchiefs in fury. Some held up banknotes, accusing the players of fixing the result. Even a furious German commentator refused to describe the game, telling viewers that what they were seeing had nothing to do with football. One German fan was so ashamed that he burned his own national flag. The Algerian team and their fans were devastated. They had beaten Germany on the pitch, fair and square, and now they were being knocked out by an arrangement that everyone could see, but no one could prove. They protested to FIFA, but because no rule had technically been broken, the result was allowed to stand. Germany and Austria went through. Algeria went home. It became known forever as the Disgrace of Gijon, the Non-Aggression Pact, one of the most cynical and shameful afternoons the sport has ever produced. But this story has a powerful ending, because the outrage was so enormous and so global that football was forced to act. From that day on, FIFA introduced a simple new rule that is still in place at every major tournament today. The final 2 games in every group must now be played at exactly the same time, so that no team can ever again know the precise result they need beforehand. So the next time you see the last 2 group games kicking off together, on the same evening, at the very same minute, you will know exactly why. It is because of one shameful night in 1982, when 2 teams stopped playing, an entire stadium turned on them, and a tiny underdog from Algeria was cheated out of history. If you enjoyed falling down this rabbit hole, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.